Hey everybody, welcome back to Kill by Daylight. You ever look at something that you've loved for X number of years and quickly realize maybe it's the beginning of the end? Because that's what I'm doing right now, not just on this PTB page for 9.6.0, it's the last patch we will get before the anniversary chapter, but it's everything. It's just compounding. The game not working, constant server issues, not being able to get into a game. I've wanted to record gameplay, fucking can't get into a game because the servers are constantly crashing and are constantly down. We're getting so many blood point, fucking rewards, I guess we'll call them. It's insane. I have like a lot of characters now up to P3 because, oops, our servers are down. Don't complain about it. Here's some blood points. It's like, okay, that's great. I just want your fucking game to work. It's the Grimoire chapter, which I thought was going to be the 10th anniversary chapter, but thank God it's not. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. Like, that is destined to fail because it doesn't look good. They're not listening to the community. And now people are speculating that the anniversary chapter is going to be The Last of Us, a game that does not deserve to be in Dead by Daylight. Those people that were bitching and complaining that Five Nights at Freddy's was in should probably start really bitching about The Last of Us. Last of Us Part 1, great game. Last of Us Part 2, holy shit, a dumpster fire of a story because Neil Druckmann didn't understand the characters he created and was reliving past trauma or whatever the fuck he said in an interview. Like, Last of Us does not deserve to be the 10th anniversary chapter for Dead by Daylight. I'm sitting here looking at this page, realizing that it's the beginning of the end, and I don't know how we've come this far. If you get that reference, welcome to the club. You're a metalhead just like me. Yeah, I made that community post. If the anniversary chapter is The Last of Us and not Friday the 13th like it should be and deserves to be, I quit. I'm uninstalling Dead by Daylight. You will see me during the live stream reaction, me reacting to the anniversary live stream whenever that happens. If they walk out on stage, let loose a wet fart and go, Joel Last of Us and Ellie Last of Us, I will turn on my Xbox, we will switch over to Xbox Vision, and you will see me click on install, and I will never look back. The channel will still thrive and survive. There will be other things on this channel, but I'm done with Dead by Daylight because I've been in this community playing this game for 6 fucking years, and it's one-sided at this point. Yeah, I got Springtrap in the game, fuck yeah. But if they're not listening to the community, and that's what this isn't like, you're not getting your way, so you're just butthurt about it. It's like, no. I'm butthurt because as long as I've been in this community, people have been screaming for Jason Voorhees, and yes, legal issues tie it up. Those legal issues have been done for about 3 years now. To the point where Fortnite, Call of Duty, and that WB fighting game that failed twice has Jason Voorhees. Alright, you want to leave Fortnite and COD out of it, fine. Those are just cosmetics, just a skin on a fucking mesh skeleton. Throw it in there, AI generator, took 30 seconds to be like, here's a Jason cosmetic. That's all they did, right? Multiverses is a fighting game. It takes a lot more to make a fighting game character than a COD or Fortnite skin. So the fact that those have Jason Voorhees in it and not Dead by Daylight now, and again, Kote walks out there, fucking diarrhea dumps on that stage, reveals Last of Us chapter for the anniversary, and not Jason Voorhees, means Kote didn't try hard enough, which I fail to think is true. Because that man has gone on record saying Chucky and Jason are his 2 dream killers. Well, he got the one. Now we're just waiting for Mama Voorhees' baby boy. So I doubt that as soon as that lawsuit ended, Kote wasn't like, hello, Sean Cunningham, let's talk. If it's not Jason Voorhees and it's The Last of Us, they followed the money and not what the community wants. This is a one-sided relationship at this point. Again, got Springtrap in the game. Hell yeah. I have given time, attention, and money, and I've received very little back. And I think this patch will prove that just right. And again, you saw with the Grimoire stuff. They openly said, You chose something and we didn't make it work, so we're going with our option instead. I brought it up several times, like, hey, you want us to re-vote on a thing we already decided in a landslide. If you don't want us picking something or you prefer a different option, just tell us. To quote a more recent song, just tell me when it's over. Kill me quick, kill me fast. Let's get to the patch notes and get away from this dreary downer ending, or downer beginning. Downer ending is what Last of Us Part 2 was. 9.6.0, the last patch before the anniversary patch, which might have a mass exodus of players because we fucked up. Diminishing returns. While on a trial, repeated... God, I can't even speak. While in a trial, repeated positive or negative gameplay modifiers and status effects are now affected by diminishing returns. Identical modifiers granted by powers, items, perks, and offerings will now be reduced progressively as they become stacked. Modifiers granted from killer power and survivor item add-ons are excluded from diminishing returns. So, what I'm thinking is like the speed up perks, like the one Xenomorph perk on Clown. The perk will get diminishing returns, not his piss bottles, right? The gameplay modifier with the highest absolute value is always applied, while lesser ones are progressively lowered to a percentage of their original value. So basically, again, we'll go with the haste thing. If you're running 2 perks that increase killer speed, the one that has 15 on it will be the one that is used instead of the one with like 14 on it. So you'll get the higher value one. The lesser valued one will have the diminishing returns added. That's what it sounds like. Who knows, right? We have to see it in progress. I haven't seen anybody playing the PTB because, again, there's nothing really in this PTB to fucking play. There's no new killer, there's no new survivor, there's no new perks. It's kind of is what it is. The game prioritizes the highest values, reducing the impact of lesser ones, and then they give us a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense to me. First value is the highest, 100% of the modifier, and then we go down from there. Dev note, after 10 years of DBD, the ability of killers and survivors to stack modifiers indefinitely are as enabled, ever accelerating and more intense gameplay. With this update, we aim to normalize how modifiers from different sources interact against each other in the order to better preserve the integrity of the game. All major gameplay modifiers and status effects of both roles are included in this update. So basically, hindered, haste, other things of that nature, those are all affected. So basically, we aim to normalize how modifiers from different sources interact with each other. So basically, they don't want you running a Gen Rush build. That's what it sounds like, right? It's going to impact Gen Rush builds that have, like, every perk stacks on top of each other to increase your gen speed by whatever amount of percent, and then you're using a toolbox. They do say item add-ons are excluded, so not items themselves. So it's going to be curious to see how everything compounds, right? I would like to see numbers, Mason, of like, here's these 4 top Gen Rush perks with a toolbox, then and now. Something like that. Just to kind of rein in what we're doing here, right? Additionally, this change will help us developers create new interesting powers, items, and perks with our roster of existing game modifiers with far less risk of creating unintended game-breaking scenarios. You have to prove that first, because we're just recycling the last 2 years of perks into new characters and not really doing anything really interesting. Again, go back to that whole, like, thing, like, oh man, this is the beginning of the end, because the past perks that they've come out with are just, like, boring. And then, like, we've seen it before. I brought it up with, Trickster chapter. I'm just like, we've seen these before. And the same thing was with Vecna. It's like, we've seen these perks before. This is just, Chemtrap, but for Windows instead of palettes. Like, why are we doing this? Like there's interesting things in killer powers and perks that you can take out of them and repurpose. We're just doing it wrong. Progress bar update. Interactions have a new animation to reinforce the speed differences. Color has been updated so it represents the speed of the interaction, becoming yellow if faster than normal and red if slower. I'm pretty sure they did that already. So I'm pretty sure those colors already did that. Previously, the color was dependent on an individual contributor, i.e. a player could see the bar red even when going faster. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Just something better, you can look at the screen and go, oh, it's going faster, oh, it's going slower. That's fine. Visible team perks. The match details have been updated to show the loadout of the players of the same team. Perks, items, and add-ons and offerings. Elements can be hovered to display their descriptions. The loadout of the opposite team is not displayed until the match is over, following the final score screen behavior, which is good. That was the big worry when they showed it off in that terrible community stream they did. It was like, you could see, like, oh, they're playing against the Trapper or whatever on that screen. It's like, this should be on the lobby screen, but little steps in a good direction is still positive things. Spectator mode, who cares? Aura customization. New aura types are available for color customizations. Highlighted elements, e.g. the xenomorph looking at a specific control station, surface elements, e.g. generator showing up by deja vu or because of eruption. Marked elements, the xenomorph marking control station, killer objects, hag traps, singularity biopods, etc., and breakable walls. Okay, more color customizations to make it easier to determine what is always a nice thing. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this shit show. Killer updates. I saw this one, and this is why I am making this video. Because I'm like, wow, that's nothing. Start with the Blight. The Blight decreased the Blight's default movement speed from 4.4 was 4.6. It's fine. Some people are gonna be like, oh, it's too slow. He's a speed demon. He's a fucking cocaine-fueled pinball wizard. That little movement speed nerf, not gonna affect them. Breaking down palette now reduces rush tokens down to 2 below maximum and resets current rush token recharge to 0. Includes basic break and special break, killer actions, power description update, reflect the changes. This is the thing that's going to suck with Blight. I don't play Blight because that takes too much time to learn. But the whole breaking it down palette with a rush is, what I remember, is quicker than doing a normal kick. So the fact this now reduces your rush tokens down to 2 below the maximum. So I don't know, man. And it resets the current rush token recharge to 0%, so you have to recharge all over again. Yeah, this is gonna suck. This is the thing that will suck. It's fucking Blight. He'll be fine. He'll still be S tier. Doctor, we decreased the delay of shock therapy attack to 0.75 seconds. It was 0.8 seconds, a whole 0.05 second decrease. That'll shoot Doctor right up from C to C+. Thumbs up. Fucking why? Cannibal increased maximum chainsaw sweep speed to 4.45 meters per second was 5.35. That's pretty big. 0.10 meters per second is pretty substantial. Ghostface reduced the cooldown of Nitro to 15 seconds. It was 17. Fucking why? Demo increased shred movement speed to 19 meters per second was 18.4, so 0.6 meters per second. That's fine. So he goes. So when he's lunging, he goes faster. That's seems like a good change, a good buff. Shred's turn rate to 55 degrees per second. Weird phrasing. It was 27.5 degrees, so it's basically doubled. So now you could turn faster, I guess? Or, yeah, turn rate to 55 degrees per second. So you're turning a whole 55 degrees instead of 27.5. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Right? After that downer of an intro, I'm trying to fucking pick out the good things. Increased the duration of undetectable after traversing upside down to 12 seconds. It was 5. That's pretty fucking huge. That's over double the undetectable. That's pretty fucking good. Unless we get down to the bottom and, like, we're reworking these add-ons. Like, he's got the one thing that makes him undetectable when traversing the upside down or after traversing it. If they're not gonna nerf that add-on, then thumbs up, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. The hoe increased movement speed while charging Rain of Darkness to 4 meters per second. It was 3.8 meters. Yeah, that's not enough. That's nothing. 0.2 meters a second. 0.1. Like, yeah. That seems like a lot. This seems like nothing. Right? I don't know. We gotta see gameplay. Wesker, because God knows Wesker needed buffs. Decreased recovery time of viral bound to 2.7. It was 3, so a whole 0.3 seconds. That does matter. That 0.3 seconds is the difference of them making a corner and you just charging them again, so that's fine. Decreased charge time per token to 5 seconds. It was 5.5, so now you get tokens back half a second quicker. That's pretty fucking big. Increased duration of the chain bound window to 2.5 seconds. It was 2, so now you have a longer duration to chain bound. I guess it's back to back. Yeah, that makes sense. So you charge in first, and then you have time to like tank control around to look, and then you can dash again. So you now have more time to make that decision where to go. That's good. That's good. Skull Merchant. I'm sorry, Pixel. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, Pixel Bush, I'm terribly sorry. We might be in the same fucking queue time of like uninstalling the fucking game. Who knows? Added support to multiple power icons. New power icons mapped to deploy drone, rotate, and recall actions. You might as well just put in... We removed them from the game because we don't fucking care. I've been saying since the Skull Merchant came out, they only made this character with such a weird power set that they didn't realize how good it was. Because they were like, we need to throw ass at them. That'll make people buy things. They gave us Cake Merchant and Talita. That's a whole damn block full of bakeries. So much cake. Fucking poor Skull Merchant mains, all 3 of you. The Unknown. Decrease the cooldown of UVX to 6.25 seconds. It was 7 seconds, so that's 45 seconds? No, 35 seconds. Yeah, 35 seconds. Or 0.35 seconds. That's a long time. That's pretty good. Again, that's like the difference between them hitting a pallet or getting behind a wall and you boom. Pretty good. Decrease weakened survivor vision linear duration to 0.75 seconds. It was 1.25, so that got taken down half, and I don't know what the fuck that means. Weakened survivor vision? Is that the vignetting around the screen? That's what I can think of. My boy Springtrap. Decreased time to recall the fire axe when embedded in the environment to 6 seconds. It was 7, so now you can get your axe back sooner. That's pretty good. Decrease the time to recall the fire axe when it's embedded into a survivor's brain. Frontal lobe, preferably. To 8 seconds, it was 10, so you can recall that quicker. Pretty good. Decreased battery consumption per camera in use to 6% was 7%, so now the cameras drain slower? I would assume that's what that means. Decreased battery consumption upon survivor teleport to 12% was 15, so now when they teleport... I forgot that the doors have a battery system. I'm gonna be honest with you. So there's that. Key binding for grab axe button updated to use power input was attack input. Okay. That's just a better, easier key bind. Whatever. This is not great. I was sitting here being like, oh, maybe that fucking one achievement of grabbing people out of doorways will be a lot easier. No, they didn't do shit. I don't know how you would make that an easier achievement to get, but it's not this. Whatever. I'm hitting full nihilism mode with this game, seeing the impending doom. So yeah, sure. Killer add-on update. I don't see Demogorgon, so we're in the clear. Nurse, heavy panting. It's a rare one. Extend the duration of the lunge after more than one blink by 10%. It was 30. That's perfectly fine. Oh no, they nerfed Nurse. Anyway, Ghostface add-ons, Walleye's matchbook, decreased night shroud recovery time by 2 seconds. It was 3. Let me check notes. That's a second off. They took 2 seconds off, so it's not a complete fuckery. That's what they've done with the history of Ghostface. If you look at the history of him getting like nerfs and buffs, it's always like, oh, we reduced the cooldown of night shroud to X amount. It's like, oh, it's by 2 seconds. And then they would nerf the add-on that decreases the recovery time by 2 seconds. Like it makes up for something. Like, no, you fucking idiots. Listen to players. Listen to the fucking players, for God's sake. Mastermind, Wesker, loose crank, increased movement speed. That's what he does to photos of Rebecca. Have you played Requiem? Huh? You played Requiem? You got that Easter egg? That's a weird one. He's like, ooh, 45-year-old Colonel Wesker peeping on fucking 19-year-old Rebecca. Weird. And people like this dude. Xenogang for life. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. Increased movement speed between the first and second violent bounds by 15%. It was 8, so now you get faster. You can have faster movement between the first and second bounds. Okay. He needed buffs. Said no one ever. Egg gold rare. Increases the chainbound window by 20%. It was 50, so now, yeah, that's the same thing they did to Ghostface. That thing I just said, yeah. Because now they increased the duration of the chainbound window by half a second. Now they nerfed the thing that did that. Springtrap, restaurant menu, decrease the minimum time to retrieve an axe embedded in the environment 10% was 20. While aiming the fire axe, reveal survivors within 6 meters of security doors with killer instinct was 4 meters. Will that make it easier for that achievement? Probably not, because you like hold your axe and be like, fuck, nobody's near a door. God damn it. And you put your axe away. Whoa. Survivor's got a shit ton of things. Holy shit. Fast track, whenever another survivor selects, you gain 3 tokens up to 9. While repairing, whenever you hit a great basic skill check. That's redundant, I feel like. You hit a great basic skill check, spend all tokens. For each token spent, the generator gains 1% permanent progress. That was 2%. Okay, I would like to know how many tokens you could have, because or is this the only change? I honestly don't remember what fast track does, and I don't feel like looking it up. That whole nihilism thing I talked about a few moments ago, yeah. Not yet, I don't care. While repairing, you hit a great basic skill check. So just one that the generator decided to pop up, not like any of the toolbox things. The fuck is that toolbox thing? Brand new part. That's it. Brand new part or something that is associated with perks or something like that. So just like a normal skill check. You spend all your tokens and it immediately grants a permanent 9% progress. It would have done 18%. The game needs, I hope, my vision, my dream anniversary stream is them come out on stage, go, you guys like Last of Us? Well, fuck you, Jason Voorhees. And then they go, we're removing all RNG from the game, starting in year 10 and working into year 11. Skill, like, gen progress perks and gen regression perks. We're fucking Thanos snapping them out of existence, reworking them all. Yeah, it's a huge undertaking. We're not doing anything new for like the first 6 months of this year, except that. That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. That's not gonna happen. Flying spectral entities appear in T-pose when casting Flight of the Damned. No, make that a feature. Let's bring fun back to Dead by Daylight. Make Dead by Daylight fun again. MDFA. Yeah. There, that's a dream acronym right there. MDFA. This is a pretty fucking disappointing final patch of year 9. You guys aren't gonna disappoint during the 10th anniversary chapter, are you? Apparently we're getting a new map with it too. That kind of makes me think we are going to get Crystal Lake as the map. Because I'm trying to remember. I love Last of Us Part 1, right? Circle. We circle back. I can't remember a fucking memorable map in that game, right? It was a great game. I will sit here and die on the hill that the first 5 or 10 minutes of that game needs to be studied by all game designers on how to make a main character endearing. That first, like, not of like, oh, it's old man Joel. No, him with his daughter, and that whole sequence with him and Tommy and his daughter that they recreated beautifully in season 1 of Last of Us needs to be studied by every game designer and every screenwriter and everything. How to make your character endearing. And then you have to study every Ellie scene in Last of Us 2 on how not to make your character a fucking dumb shit. Look up the word revanchist. It's a great word that describes Ellie perfectly in Last of Us Part 2. And yeah, oh man, she was doing it for her dad. Fuck that bitch. That is my official stance on Ellie in Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2, the show, she didn't kill a unborn child, so... And then not regret it later and wonder why Abby is pissed. I'm glad the game's dead. I'm glad the series is dead. Neil shouldn't be writing any other games. But yeah, I can't remember... Like, I don't see them making, like, Tommy's, the Colorado town the map. That would be very weird, because it's just open streets and some buildings. That makes no sense. Yeah, I really don't remember any, like, I guess the lab at the end, but we don't need that. We don't need that map because we already have 1,000 different fucking hospitals. Leary's is bad enough. Or good enough, depending on if you're playing Michael. I mean, who's that? We lost that chapter. That'll be back in like a year and a half after the Halloween game fucking fails. Yeah, I can't remember a single thing, a single area in that game that would make a good Dead by Daylight map. If you go, oh, the snowy village after, like, Joel gets injured and Ellie has to take over. It's like, we just have, that's just Mount Ormond. We don't need another Mount Ormond. That map is kind of ass as it is. And we did the other map, Mount Ormond map with, Did it come with Houndmaster? I don't remember. Houndmaster, what's that killer? That fucking killer doesn't get any goddamn love as is. Yeah, I can't, like, I'm going through the annals of my brain. I can't, like, you could have the college campus before Joel gets injured? But that's not a very interesting map. It's 3 buildings and a town square, basically. That's not interesting. Or it wouldn't make it, not interesting. It wouldn't make a good Dead by Daylight map. Whereas something like Crystal Lake, you could have a couple different variations because of how the cabins are set up and shit like that. And we've proven that that map can work in a ASIM horror game. There's that. Plus, like, again, like, even if you want to be like, oh, Last of Us deserves being like, okay, great, who's the killer? Who's the killer? A normal basic bitch licker, or not licker? Clicker. Yeah. Normal basic bitch clicker that just, like, shambles around, or do you do one of those wild ass ones they introduced that is show only in season 2, the one that's like hyper intelligent? Do you do that? Do you do the fucking big brood mother, big behemoth that doesn't really fit in Dead by Daylight because he's too fucking massive. He's bigger than Nemesis. And we basically already have that in Oni. Like, who would the killer be? Like, okay, great. We have Ellie and Joel. And then, like, there's no cosmetic choice there. You get Tommy and Tommy's wife for Joel. But then again, it's like, we're really, year 9 was really hammering, like, fuck them kids. Not list the, not the island type of fuck them kids, but like, Stranger Things came in and it's like, oh, we can kill kids now. So, like, everything's off the board. I gotta really record that fucking It chapter video. That's what I really gotta do before I'm done with this fucking game. My last, like, fucking Molotov into the field. Like, fucking Pennywise should be in. Oh, damn, black spot. Yeah. Make one of the fucking soldiers that screams his friend's name as the killer. Jenna! This is the best part of Last of Us 2, was killing somebody, and then their friend coming over going, oh, and then screaming their name at the top of their fucking lungs. Hilarious comedy that game is. And then they got to the dog killing. Lot of animal cruelty in that fucking game. Yep, that'll do it for this one. Yeah. Also, they can announce Last of Us. They can announce that on the stream, by the way. Like, if they're like, hey, anniversary chapter is Friday the 13th, and then after the Grimoire chapter, it's The Last of Us. Fine. I don't have a problem with Last of Us coming into the game. I have a problem with it taking the illustrious spot of the 10th anniversary chapter. That's the problem I have. Is it a good game? Yes. Why not Dead Space at that point then? Isaac Clarke as the survivor, pick a fucking necromorph. Why not do Resident Evil Chapter 3? Why not do Silent Hill Chapter 2? Why not do Darth Vader, right? Why not have it be Jurassic World? I don't know. They're not, if it is Last of Us as the anniversary chapter, they're not listening to the community. Not hard enough, at least. And so I'm looking at this shit. Oh, fuck. They're definitely not listening. They're definitely not listening. Yeah, that's it. That's it. If the game works, I'll get some gameplay recorded, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all for watching, though. If you enjoyed what you witnessed, do the YouTube stuff. Good luck. Good luck, Dead by Daylight. You're gonna fucking need it come June. Or sooner, depending on what gets leaked and announced.